Motherfucker, my cellular device has but notes.
So you need. Where's the other phone?
Jesus.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Anime Gaiden. I'm Steven.
I'm Sawhill.
And today we are going to talk about solo leveling, Sakamoto Days, and finish up Ping Pong, along with a bit of a special announcement at the end on how we're going to reframe things moving forward. So first things first, I just want to apologize to everybody. Last time we talked a little bit about the next season of anime coming up. I accidentally pulled up the wrong one, so I apologize. What we talked about last time was summer, not spring. We'll talk about it more at the end of what that's going to look like for us during the spring season. But I just want to apologize right out the gate and say also that we're sorry we're a week late on this episode because
you have a new baby.
I had a baby, so things got crazy. It's true. Sahil was a wonderful mother.
And it was a hard pregnancy.
I got a big head. Anyway, so yeah, I just want to get everything back on track. Next week, we're going to do a slightly longer episode than normal to kind of catch up, get back to pace. And we want to thank user or follower
Crowbar6969
for this little Naruto here. Because I don't know if anyone's noticed, but we've had this Aruka in the background the whole time, but it is half of a hole, and now it is a hole. So thank you very much for sending us the little Naruto to finish it up. It's super cute, super adorable. And it's such a touching moment. I know you've never watched Naruto, but man, this is just the feels. All you could do is give me Jiraiya with something sticking in him. That'll give you more feels. But anyway.
We'll definitely have to do an episode where I watch or read.
We'll just have a special stuff. So okay, there's certain parts you have to watch. I don't care.
For sure, yeah. I'm definitely open up to the idea. It's just obviously a commitment at this point. How many episodes are there? Or
don't even remember that. Don't you worry about it. Just jump in.
Well, I've done One Piece, so it can't be worse than One Piece.
Yeah, I mean, it depends if you include the entirety. If you include the entirety, Naruto and Shippuden has 700 episodes. Boruto has over 200, almost 300 episodes.
Manga chapters.
I don't remember. I didn't read them. I'll be honest.
Okay.
Actually, that's not true. I do read Boruto. I don't actually watch Boruto. I do read it. And then when you got Two Blue Vortex, then we get a few more. So, if you look at it, is the entire story. It's got actually quite a lot. It also has a lot of light novels and stuff, which I don't believe One Piece has.
No, they started to dive into that more now. I know what they have the special with Ace that just dropped, which I still need to read. They have Monster to do with
yep.
So yeah, it was Ancestor. I forget his name off the top of my head. I did. I think that's it for now.
Okay.
Oh, and then there's that one you were talking about with.
Oh yeah,
which we still need to.
Oh, that's in the season. We'll get to that. Don't you worry. So again, today we're going to be talking about solo leveling, but what we've been watching lately. So I've actually been getting a bit of a head start on our spring watch list. So I've been watching things like Fire Force as they come out, Windbreaker Season 2. We're going to talk about it. I was actually not a huge fan of Season 1. I thought it was all right, but nothing standout.
I agree.
However, the first 2 episodes of Windbreaker Season 2 have been amazing. I know, Sahil, you read it earlier on. I got ahead of it, and you were like, all the best stuff happened in Season 1. So I was super demotivated, because I'm it was only all right. But I remember I watched the first episode, I came to work, and I was like, man, that first episode was fire.
No, to be fair, I actually never watched all of Season 1. I started watching Season 1.
But didn't you read it?
Oh, no, I did. So I read it. Not all of it. I read a few chapters. Wasn't a fan of the direction it was going in. It just didn't really keep me interested. We'll go into more details later. Probably in another episode, to be honest with you. I put on the first season, but I didn't pay attention to the first.
Fair enough.
I was reading, I think, or doing something else in the meantime, and then just got distracted, and obviously wasn't just following.
Fire Force, I think you read that one too, didn't you?
I read all 5.
Yeah, so I haven't. So yeah, spoilers. I have an idea of how it ends, but yeah, aside from that, it's starting in a really good place for sure. It's starting off super strong.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun anime or a fun manga. Animations aren't bad either.
Yeah, but I mean, other than catching up, finishing solo leveling and all these things, that's most of what I've watched. Oh no, that's not true. I did watch Go-Go Loser Ranger Season 1.
Oh, you did watch it?
I did watch it.
Okay.
It was all right. I'm curious to see where to go. At first I'm okay, this was just too goofy and off-putting, but no, it like takes these weird little turns that you're like, okay, maybe something will come of this. I also watched Red Ranger in Another World, or
All of it?
it's only one season, so yeah, I killed it.
Was it good? Okay, maybe I won't watch it then.
No, just watch it. But I like the jabs it was making. Again, I'm not going to go into it too far.
Like a parody, essentially?
Yeah, it makes fun of the Power Ranger thing so much. Like every time he transforms, there's an explosion behind him, but then it impacts his allies because it's exploding. Yeah, there's a lot of good like satire in it.
How many episodes is it?
It's only like 12.
Okay.
If you watch it, we'll do an episode on it. Yeah, but that's it for me. How about you, Sile?
Honestly, I was covering everything we're going to be covering today. So I watched all of Sakamoto Days last Sunday, I believe. Caught up on season 2 of Solo Leveling. Finished off Ping Pong as well. And then, yeah, I haven't really touched much anime or manga this week, to be honest with you. I think even One Piece I haven't fully caught up on yet.
Oh, I haven't read today's chapter.
I think I'm 3 behind. 2.5 behind or something.
Remember Sad Sack?
I'm caught up on Solo Leveling Ragnarok and Vinland Saga. Vinland Saga dropped a newer chapter recently, which was really good. And then I've been following that trend of watching White Lotus. That's been my my watch for the past few days.
His passion.
Yeah, that's a pretty wild show. It's not anime or anything, but it's pretty cool. I enjoyed it.
So, right before we get into Solo Leveling, you guys know what we got to do next. We got a new treat. We have buffalo milk cakes.
Yeah, we do.
What this is, I don't know. Yeah, we're just gonna dive right in. I don't even know. Like, it looks like it should be a lemon flavor, just because of colors. But
Is it called?
honestly, I have no idea.
Buffalo? Is it actually buffalo milk?
That's my guess. I mean, it just says milk. It says like wheat, egg, milk. That's the first 2 ingredients.
Well, it had coconut milk in it.
Bad. So, are you ready?
Or is it like buffalo wings, or is it like invented in Buffalo?
Oh.
But
That was anticlimactic. That was a very anticlimactic smell.
can't spell anything through the package.
So they're pre-packaged and individually packaged as well. Okay. Oh, it's super soft.
I'm actually kind of listening. I'm looking forward to this already.
It's spongy. Oh, it's sticky too.
That's not too sticky.
It smells kind of sweet. Smells citrusy, like it's got a zest. Nope.
I don't like the cheese flavor to it.
I fuck with it. I actually really like it, damn. You can have your, what was it? Duck chips?
Was that the one I liked? The duck tongue or whatever? Yeah, I like those duck tongues.
I have these. I like them. I mean, the texture is the most artificial thing ever.
Like, I don't mind the texture. I just don't like the initial taste of cheese. And I love cheese.
It is a little cream cheesy,
Yeah.
but I kind of like it. Well, those will be done before we leave.
I kind of wish they had more of the sealing inside.
Okay, that's a hard pass. You give me a package this big, and we had 6.
How much did we pay again for that one?
I don't know, man. Probably at least like $5, $6.
$5 Canadian.
$5, $6.
Well, yeah, we're in Canada. I don't know if you guys realize that.
That's the first state.
We might say a lot.
Okay, so with that being said, let's talk Solo Leveling. Sahil, start us off because I want another milk cake.
Solo Leveling. Yeah, so watch season 2. I'm sure most people have watched season 1 by now. What is this? I don't have this.
So for season 2, and those of you who don't know, if you have somehow lived under a rock and not seen anything about Solo Leveling, start off as a manhwa, which is essentially Korean manga, became very, very popular, and now it has an anime. The anime and the story is about a world, like a modern day regular world, in which one day there's some sort of calamity or change where these dungeon gates start opening up. And they're like dimensions to like these little like pocket dimensions filled with monsters. And in there, there's resources and there's all these other things. But at the same time, some people start going through this thing called an awakening, which essentially turns them into a video game character where it's like they get certain powers. It could be magic powers. It could be really good at fighting. It could be all these different things. Just think D&D. And it turns them into that. And then basically the whole world revolves around it because the materials found in the dungeon are unlike anything we have and create super high level equipment and different things like that and high level technologies. now we have everyone's a different rank, and when they become awakened, they get given their power level, and it stays there. So they could, in theory, improve their skills. Like if you're a knight, you could get better with a sword, kind of thing, but you'll never actually be stronger than you are with your when your awakening skills open. It follows Sun Jinwoo, who is an E rank, and he's known as the weakest hunter. Everywhere he goes, no matter what it is, he basically almost dies in the most simple dungeon. He ends up getting an awakening, and in doing this, for him, it really does become a video game. He becomes a hunter who can level up, and he's kind of raising his sister, putting her through med school while he's trying to keep his mom on life support and all these other things. So he needs to earn money, which is why he's doing it. And then it just goes through his journey of becoming this small, timid kid who's doing something because he needs to, and he's not very strong, just being courageous that way, to the most OP godlike thing in the universe, essentially.
And then also with his ability, it's unique to himself, so he can level up.
He's the only one.
But he's the only one who can do that. And again, it was under unique circumstances of him dying first, which anyone else, if they die, they're dead. They're gone. But for him, he just happened to be the one unique case. We don't know why that's the case. Like, we don't know what exactly happened there to... Well, they get into it much later.
Yeah, we don't know why via the anime. Both of us have read the manga. So
in the show, they haven't explained it, but in the manga or manhwa, they have. And yeah, like as Steven said, it's like an RPG where you have like different classes. It's similar to like WoW, for example. You have your healer, you have your tanks, you have your DPS. You have guys who are meant to there for a specific reason, where he, again, is the only one who can pretty much do a dungeon by himself. Like, he can heal himself. He can do enough damage.
Yeah, he gets this power. He becomes basically a necromancer, and anyone he kills, he can bring back like a shadow form and make that his like servant, essentially. And he can just kind of pop them up wherever he is and summon them. So that helps. He basically has an endless army at his side.
And he has his own store too. Like, he has his own little virtual store where he can buy weapons. And
and he finds out that he can basically just like skew the market and just
buy things for like dirt cheap and then actually sell it for real money.
Buy them with the aim points and sell it for real.
Okay, I wish that was real life.
Yeah, it's crazy. But overall, I like it. I think this was probably the first like manhwa or manga, to be honest, that I sped through when I first read it. I went to Nashville spontaneously for a weekend, and I literally just went through it all in less than 24 hours and just read all of it. I couldn't put it down. It was really good. I do think it's a bit fast-paced sometimes and could benefit quite a lot from delving into the side characters and a little deeper into story.
Agreed.
But this one, season 2, starts off with a crazy battle where they're stuck into a red gate, which is an extra hard dungeon. And time runs differently, so they're actually there for weeks, even though in the real reality it's much shorter. And it's just wild. This guy has a huge pivotal moment where he has to kill like the head elf or the boss to close the gate and get out. And he ends up, so this is a point of contention, he ends up letting this the guy who was supposed to be running the dungeon party die, and then brings him back to life as a support character. But it's a point of contention because in the manhwa, he very, very intentionally kills that guy, right? So I know there was like a lot of talk around like, oh, they're changing everything. This is supposed to be sad.
I am curious why they did go that far.
Do you want this?
No, but
thank you. I'm super hungry. And yeah, like I think, why do you think it is?
I think they're trying to like go away from him being a murderer, straight up murderer, and being like try to provide more reason to if he was to murder someone. Again, they're trying to go like the whole superhero route where a true hero doesn't kill unless like absolutely forced to.
Yeah, and the manga kind of plays off the part that like as he gets stronger, he more or less loses his emotion.
Yeah,
and he gets like closer to the like that necromancer dark side of things.
And I feel like it's also because now the stakes are increasing for every episode or every chapter, he has no other option. Like, he's forced to do things now that he would normally not do in the past. Which, again, I feel like that relates to a lot of these hero stories out there where, yes, you have this bad guy, you can try to keep them alive and imprison them, but, like, if they keep escaping and killing more people, like it does, like, Invincible, for example, Mark had to, like, deal with that a lot, too.
Well, I think with him, it's even different because the way his powers work, if he fights somebody who's bad and really strong, he's got more incentive than anyone to kill that person, so he can bring them back to life and make them part of his team, which is what he mostly does, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing when he's defeating that the dungeon later, like the secret key dungeon where he gets all this stuff to bring his mom back. He fights the like that giant orc. Oh no, sorry. The other dungeon he gets caught in where he fights all the orcs. That was so cool. The
Shaman dude?
Yeah, the animation and those fights was so crazy. I got to show you that on the TV downstairs. It's wild.
That was nuts.
But
even the last, we'll get into that in a little bit.
But yeah, so he takes him and then becomes a huge like player later on. And as things go, it's really cool to see like the whole like different rank system that it gives for his shadow creatures is pretty sick.
Also, going back to that guy he did kill and then reanimated. And then what, he was reanimated as Tank?
Tank.
Oh yeah, dude, so funny. I love Tank. Just so dumb. But I feel like they don't show as much as they do in the manhwa. In the manhwa, they have a little more dialogue. Well, he doesn't have a lot of dialogue. They show just a lot more funnier shit.
They get more dialogue later, right? Because as the general gets stronger, they gain the ability to talk and things like that.
True. Okay. Yeah. No. Right. I'm thinking too far ahead because now we're talking about like Beru, who can first one be able to talk, and everyone else can after.
Which boy will we get to Beru?
Yeah.
Before we go too far, I just want to go into two things. One, you cannot tell me, Go Gun Hee, the chairman of the Hunter Association, does not remind you of Garp.
Oh yeah, and he also reminds me of I forget his name, but the dude from Kaiju number 8.
Yeah, fair enough. But
I feel like it's a very common.
the Garp vibes are so strong with this guy. It's like if Garp actually became Fleet Admiral, is basically who he is.
But I think at one point, doesn't he admit that Sung Jin-woo might be stronger than him?
Oh yeah, he knows. Like by the end of season 2, yeah, not even a question. Also, then the other thing I want to get into before it goes too far is like in this anime, there's a lot of like shipping be done with Sung Jin-woo. Sorry, excuse me.
Those cakes are hitting you hard.
Oh yeah, and the milky cakes. Yum.
They've been pregnant after this
again. So Sung Jin-woo, they have like Cha, who's the main one. I think that's how you say her name. You have Radiru, who's like the demon lady. Some people ship that all the time.
Is Ezio Radiru?
And like, but everyone forgets about the main baddie, who's my favorite.
The bald dude?
Dude's like a bald dude.
Yeah. Who are we talking about here?
I'm not shipping the bald dude with Sung Jin-woo.
No, that might not. I know what I'm talking about.
Lee Joo-hee.
What's Lee Joo-hee?
Here, Lee Joo-hee. I love Joo-hee.
Oh yeah,
Joo-hee was like my favorite. Right? Like
I liked her.
I liked her as a character so much early on, even when I was reading the manhwa, and then there's like just dissipates.
Yeah, I thought she would have a bigger role moving.
Same thing. Like I actually like the fresh vibe that his sister Jinha brings to it, because it's just as he loses emotion and becomes like, less emoting. She brings in like this nice fresh vibe of energy as he gets like more dark and gritty and lifeless. And I wish they brought her into it a little bit more too.
But I feel like the issue is she's still very low level.
Oh, she's not even a hunter. Gina?
I thought she's a healer.
I'm talking about his sister now.
Oh, we're talking about his sister now, right?
Oh, she's a B. She's not that low level. She's a B rank healer.
Okay, yeah.
Like she's not ridiculous or anything, but she's like, she could be making a pretty penny. Let's just say that. A B rank hunter would be the equivalent to like a B-list celebrity.
Then why was she in that first dungeon? She was B.
Because it was a C rank.
That's what I thought. That's why I assumed she was a C.
Power level. Jeju Island. So Sahel.
Chimera Ant.
Yeah, you can go into the Chimera Ant bout.
So Jeju Island, as we explained, what's going on there. Very similar to Hunter x Hunter's Chimera Ant arc or saga.
No, either way.
I guess there's a few arcs within that saga.
Yeah. Either way.
Okay. Yeah.
Story.
So yeah, you have ants essentially eating or defeating hunters, and in Hunter x Hunter, they actually like evolve with the attributes of the person they defeated. Where in this case, that actually in Solo Leveling that didn't happen as much.
Happened with one. So
only
Beru himself.
Beru, yeah.
Every time he kills somebody, got their powers.
Yeah. Beru, who's essentially Miriam from Hunter x Hunter. Yeah, so anytime he defeats somebody and eats somebody, he takes their powers. And he's like the only one who can talk. He has a human intelligence.
Because he ate a human.
Yeah. Pretty simple. I thought it was cool. Animations was unreal, especially the fight battle.
So good. The fights were so good.
It definitely popped off. The hunters did get defeated pretty easily eventually. Like, they didn't stand a chance against Beru.
I know. I like how they do it, though. The guns are blazing. We're destroying everything.
Yeah.
And Jinwoo's not with us. Who cares? We don't even know who he is really yet. Oh, we're crushing it. We're crushing it. Beru just skids the island and wrecks everyone.
Just takes everyone's head off.
Including Gojo or whatever his name was, who was like Goto, Goto, who was like the strong.
I was hoping there would be a little more of a pushback there.
Yeah,
I thought he would put up a little bit of a fight. You know, maybe Beru was like playing around with him a little bit, and then like, no, I'm tired.
But I think that was just to show like just how different the power levels are, right? And then obviously Jinwoo comes in and saves the day, but
that was pretty cool how Jinwoo. So like another cool thing about Jinwoo's ability is he creates these shadow soldiers
that can hide
within other people's shadows. But then he also has the ability to teleport with any of his shadow soldiers. So essentially, he didn't go to the island at first. Everyone else did. He thought maybe like I just brought my mom back from being in a coma. I'm gonna spend time with my family. These hunters got it. They're all at strength. They shouldn't have a problem.
Can we talk about how he slipped the shadows into the asteroid hunter's shadows, but none of them notice? Because you remember when he was fighting all the orcs, and the one like A-rank mage was like, "Oh, he thought he could just do he thought he could just do all this like secret stuff, and none of these mages would notice." How are there like the world's best mages sitting there? They didn't notice and throw a little magic around, you know?
But I also feel like it's something they've never seen before. Like the whole like Commander shadow, so you just like it's completely new. There's no other hunter who can have sort of ability, so they had no reason to look for exactly yet. So that was cool. He just teleported exactly when he needed to, because they started to get wrecked. Like Cha was like near death. Almost everyone was near death.
The healer, I forget his name, but the healer was dead.
Yeah, so essentially the healer is friends with another hunter. He was retired. He was hesitant to even come. But he's like, you know what? My buddy's going. I promised him I'll be with him whenever he needs me. So he went. Things were going good. He was keeping everyone alive. But then
Beck.
Yeah,
he's the
healer.
No, he's the beast guy.
Oh, the wolf dude. So everyone's getting wrecked, keeping everyone alive. But Beru, obviously being pretty smart, realizes that he needs to take out the healer first, which he does. Literally kills him. Which is sad, but then as soon as Jinwoo comes, he has the intense fight with Beru. Afterward, he tries to help revive Cha, but like she's way too injured to do any sort of healing for her. With his potion that he had. So what he ended up doing is he ended up reviving the healer who had got killed by Beru, and got the healer to heal her back to life. But then just to like pay respect to his wishes of not wanting to be in battle in the first place, he let his soul go afterwards.
Yeah, that whole part was a really good, respectful thing. And seeing like Bayek's response to it, and seeing Bayek, who is kind of like is a national hero, take that second and be like, hey, just please.
Yeah.
But also to see the slowly, seemingly soulless Jinwoo be like, no, I already did. I can already tell. Seeing a little smile, like there's a lot of feels in those moments. What I really like with Solo Leveling, they did it, obviously it tracks in the manga, but it reads better in the animation, is it's really good at respectfully paying homage to things. And to me, that's where I see the Chimera Ant arc resemblance.
Yeah.
First and foremost, as much as it like extremely resembles the Chimera Ant arc, and I'm just going to assume that it is directly trying to pay homage to that. there's so many anime that do that.
For sure. I don't think they're trying to rip off Hunter x Hunter.
No, I think it's a respectful, like, hey, that was really cool. I'm doing this too. And like, you know, the animation team did it with the Death of Toriyama too, with the whole like little jumping thing out of season 1. Like there's a lot of clear parallels that they draw between all that stuff. And it does it so like it's very obvious, but it's not this like distasteful or disrespectful. It's very much like, oh, I'm an anime fan making an anime, and this is cool stuff that I want to like tie in.
And like you hear about things with like these creators having relationships with other creators and using them as inspiration,
like the Kengan and Baki creators.
Oh yeah, Kengan
so much.
And then isn't it Oda, the creator of One Piece, and Kishimoto, who are like really good friends.
Yeah, they have like a friendship and a rivalry all the time,
and they kind of help create. They helped each other with like the ideas of their
they have like like a very friendly rivalry. Yeah, and it's very jokes, very fun. So power level. What power level do you want to give Solo Leveling specifically season 2?
I think specifically season 2. Oh, actually no, wait. Before we hit that,
is your dad baking barbecue?
No. No, when we were driving over, we saw there's another dude.
Sorry, it's supposed to lag. And like I said, very hungry.
No, the other thing we forgot to talk about is Jinwoo's dad.
Oh, I mean, okay, so yeah, Jinwoo's dad came out. He was a hunter who kind of appeared in a dungeon overseas in America.
Wan Song.
They brought him back thinking he was just a beast or a creature, but he's very strong. We don't really know much about him as far as right now goes. But we do know that he is kind of like keeping an eye on something that seems to be like a secret organization of evil.
Yeah, and he's strong. He's most likely stronger than an S-rank hunter too, because he just
he's S-rank at least, yeah.
At least because he just demolishes Dong Su, who's the S-rank hunter.
I mean Dong
Su.
But okay.
Yeah, just demolishes him, and he's probably one of the strongest S-rank.
Yeah, like the American Hunter Association sniped him from the Koreans.
Yeah.
So he's pretty tough.
But yeah, so in terms of power level, it was hype. Animations are great. I do wish just Solo Leveling as a whole, we had a little more character development, a little more depth. But that being said, I'll probably give it a power level of 8,500.
Yeah, so on a scale of like 1 to over 9,000, I was going to say about the same, like, but I might even have to drop it a little bit lower, like 8,250. I'm get super specific on this one, but
I guess for me, it's like separating the manhwa from the anime. If I'm just talking about anime, animations, and what I have in season 2, it would definitely be 85, maybe 9. I'll stick to 85. Manhwa as a whole, probably about 8,000.
Yeah, I really like it. I really do. There's so much good stuff. I really hope they expand the universe, the story, everything they can. Like, if they keep running with more material, I'm gonna keep consuming it.
Yeah,
but there's just not enough meat to go with the potatoes. You know.
Yeah,
I want something to sink my teeth into.
I think we're in line with that one.
Are you ready for the most fun part?
Well, yeah.
2 frames per second. Sahil, what are your 2 frames per second?
My 2 frames per second, well, we'll stick with Solo Leveling. Beru, the main ant, the strong-ass ant we were talking about, I was a little disappointed on his design. I thought they could have added a little more detail like they did with the manhwa. Everything was a little too flat.
Mm-hmm.
That would be mine. Again, nothing crazy, like... Was it poorly done? No, but could have been better, yes.
So I'm going to flip things around. I'm going to do my favorite 2 frames per second for this one. So I'm going to get one from each, one from Sakamoto Days and one from Solo Leveling. Fun fact, I don't have a favorite animation from Ping Pong, but we already talked about Ping Pong 2 frames per second. I mean, I do. The only thing I like would be that they like went in hard on the like budget animation.
Yeah,
like they just went all in.
Yeah,
I respect that. Good play, strong play. So from Solo Leveling, it would definitely be the fight I've already mentioned a couple times, which is like that orc fight. Even just either the orc fight or the one with the demon monarch. Like those are so cool. Again, I have a bit of a hard on for my new TV still, but like the colors are so red. They're so good.
No, yeah.
And everything's moving so fast and about fluid. It looks super nice. I really like it. I actually do like those two fights more than I like the Baru one.
For some reason I thought like the last fight was definitely the higher budget fight.
Yeah, I think it's just the colors.
Okay.
I honestly think it's just like the colors of like the whole experience of watching them just seemed more hype to me.
Yeah.
I got to show you after, buddy. Like it actually looked really good. And then from Sakamoto Days, still same thing. Favorite, it comes up a lot. Anytime we get this. This is
that kills me every time. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Every time his wife's about to be like, yo, you did what? And he's like,
So, fun fact, two of my dreams before I die, two of my bucket list items are one, to have cankles.
Oh, you're so pretty much to get fat.
And to have bingo wings. That's what that reminds me of. So.
When do you plan on trying to hit these goals?
I don't know. Like my plan is like if I ever get like terminal illness or something and I know I'm gonna die and I'm really old, like we're talking like wrinkly, sagging everywhere, I'm just gonna skydive naked. Over like a relatively public place. Like I don't want to land on anyone, but I do want to scar a few people.
So we've talked
no parachute, by the way.
We've talked about this before. We both work at a gym. And I think one of the biggest complaints you've had over like not you, but like everyone's had is the old dudes in the gym who just walk around butt naked. They'll have a towel, but it's over their shoulder.
No, my favorite is, sorry, I'm going to demonstrate this one.
Oh no.
My favorite is this.
Yeah. No. But like kind of going to what you just said, they really just don't give a fuck, I feel like. They know exactly what they're doing. They just don't give a fuck.
They're flexing on all of us, and they're not flexing on anything other than like sheer confidence.
Yeah.
It's so terrible. Yeah. It's the worst. Okay. Now, going into Sakamoto Days.
Sakamoto Days. All right. So I'll pull up a synopsis here real quick. Taro Sakamoto used to be an unrivaled hitman, earning legendary status in the criminal underworld by being feared by some and idolized by others. One day, Sakamoto fell in love at first sight with Aoi? I forget, I don't know how to pronounce it. A convenience store clerk. In order for them to date, he had to give up his career and promise to never kill again. Sakamoto agreed, and after his retirement, they started dating, got married, had a daughter, and they eventually opened up their own convenience store in the suburbs of Tokyo. But then later on, pretty much similar to like John Wick and most of these other assassin movies and shows that we've seen, you can't just quit. And if you do, well, then they're coming for you. And so essentially he has to deal with rivals and old associations coming after him and his family. But also because he kept this promise of never killing and never getting involved in that business, he kind of has to do things discreetly as well with the help of some friends he makes along the way.
Well, what I like about this one is like how the association. So, what was the group he used to be a part of? So he was a part of the association, the Order, yeah. But he's in like a higher level of it called the Order, which is basically mythic. Like no one even knows if it exists. And we find out this later in the season. But the first person they send to take him out is Shin.
Yeah,
like before they kind of like go open season on him, they send Shin at him, which was like basically his student. Back in the association, which they never actually a little bit. They fill it out a little bit, like a little bit. A flashback, like a little bit. I don't know. But his whole thing is he can read minds because of some experimentation. That part of the season was probably the best part. I'm just gonna say that right now.
I agree.
Is when they explore that past. But yeah, basically Shin immediately sees Sakamoto and is like, he's this large fat dude right now. He's like, there's no way. And he follows him. And he sees him doing all this crazy stuff, even though he's like much more obese and seems like he's completely out of it now. And end of the day, he ends up becoming part of Sakamoto's new family, living there, working at the convenience store and everything else. And then as other assassins are trying to come at him, he's like Shin's powers come in handy because he can hear their thoughts, but they're trying to hide it from his wife the whole time for the first while.
And then they like, pick up a couple other people like Lou.
I love Lou.
Lou's sick. All set.
Drunken Fist. You go drunken.
Oh, yo, and I care. Yeah, so was nuts. When as soon as she got wasted and it's like drunken fist, I'm like, okay, this thing.
As soon as you give a character Drunken Fist,
Yeah.
I am in. I'm like,
Sure.
which reminds me, I have to replay Baldur's Gate 3 because they updated it and now it has Drunken Fist.
Oh, cool.
So I gotta do it. Also, it should have cross-platform play.
Baldur's Gate?
The update. I don't know if it got finished, but yeah.
If it's on sale, I'll pick it up. Yeah, no. What was Lou's backstory? She was a part of a mafia. That's right.
Basically the Yakuza, but like Chinese.
Yeah, but her family dies,
Yeah, her family's the head and they get murdered, yeah.
and then she has the key to like the family secrets.
Yeah, and they're all hunting her and they casually run in. She screws up their meat buns.
Oh, right. So Shin and Sakamoto, they were at like festival or something. They were just walking, like running errands.
Yeah, he runs errands, but he always gets like these special meat buns for his family.
Yeah, so he had a bag of meat buns, and all of a sudden Lou just falls out from the sky, lands on him, and his meat buns ruins him. So he essentially makes a deal, being like, "Hey, I'll help you if you can make me more meat buns," because I guess she has a secret family recipe for meat buns. Conveniently enough,
I would do it.
And in the end, she ends up joining the family and the store, working there, helping Sakamoto out, trying to keep his family alive and whatnot. Also, that episode with the roller coaster, we're into that.
Yeah.
That was cool. They're at an amusement park.
And they're fighting on a roller coaster?
Yeah, all these assassins are at this amusement park trying to kill Sakamoto, but it's his day off, so he doesn't want to get involved. He has to spend time with his family. So Shin and Lou are in charge of fighting off all the assassins. And there was a scene where Shin had to help defend the family on a roller coaster and like falling up different angles, and that was nuts.
Heisuke was pretty cool too. When like they find a Heisuke who was like the sniper.
Oh yeah,
he was the guy who it's like he was basically a failed assassin. He sucked at everything. Sucked at absolutely everything except sniping. So he just went all in, and they're like, "Who wants an assassin who could only do one thing?" Yeah. So then he's trying to take out Sakamoto to prove himself, and he's poor as hell. He's living on rooftops in this tent that blows away, and all this other stuff.
A little like parrot or bird or whatever.
And then he goes to he kind of stumbles upon, like, convince him that he's not Sakamoto, and then he like begs for food and stuff, and then they're all together in that like nationwide little contest, like Nerf contest basically, or like airsoft contest, trying to shoot everyone down, and they're wrecking things. I'm pretty sure it was airsoft.
Yeah, I saw.
And then eventually he realizes it is Sakamoto, so now he's trying to take out Sakamoto, and you're seeing all like the cool bank shots and stuff.
Yeah, the ricochet bullets, and destroys a whole city pretty much.
So funny.
But yeah, dude's pretty just dumb as fuck. So even like when he first got introduced, so Sakamoto is now fat, so he looks nothing like his previous self. So as soon as he like looks at the picture from his old days compared to what Sakamoto looks like now, they're like, no, it can't be him. Like, this guy's fat. This guy's not. And he's like, oh yeah, no, true. Like, what am I thinking? And then completely gives up, walks away, and like believes everything essentially up until the last moment where like it's pretty evident that is Sakamoto.
I love animation wise. Sorry, there is one more thing I have to mention. Every time he's about to do something crazy, the forearm animations they do for Sakamoto.
Oh, I don't know if
they like go right in. They basically do like a low key Popeye thing where they're showing every striation and stuff. It is. Well, I actually like they show all the definition in his forearms. I had him as he's like pumping up.
Yeah, that's so
funny. The best arc part of the story, is when they go into Shin's past though. 100%. You find out like, how Shin got his powers, and it wasn't like the typical, kid gets abducted and experimented on, so evil, so bad. No, he was his parents died. He went to live with his dad's friends. His dad's friends was a scientist, and he was working on trying to give people supernatural abilities. Lo and behold, he succeeded. But right after he created it, Shin woke up late at night and was looking for a drink, drank it, and now Shin has superpowers. And then all the people around the lab that were really nice to him before kind of didn't want to be around him anymore because he didn't realize he wasn't supposed to say their thoughts out loud and share them with everybody. Everyone thought their privacy was skewed. Anyway, these guys, the lab has been taken over by villains, and what's leading up to be Sakamoto's. In other words, a red Sakamoto Days, just as a heads up. What seems to be like Sakamoto's like arch nemesis, the only person to have ever injured this guy is Sakamoto. Has taken over the lab, and they're trying to find ways to kind of bolster everyone, or use like make them into cyborgs, or give them special powers to be able to be stronger. And at the whole time it's going through Shin's past, and then you see Sakamoto doing some really cool fights. You start finding out about the Order, and there's all this fun stuff happening. So basically, if I had to sum up Sakamoto Days Season 1 and what it feels like, I would say it's like kind of like an action slice of life.
Yeah.
It would like a slice of life similarly to like something like Spy Family, but way more focused on the action side of things rather than the family dynamic. Like it still has it, but they're both very similar. It's just they focus on different parts.
Yeah. But like obviously they don't really focus on his daughter much at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And they'll be like, it's like she'll be calling it in, but like she has no like, at least not yet. Has
well,
major.
The reason I say the thing they do focus on though is combining like biological family with found family, because they talk about the Sakamoto family rules and stuff like that all the time, right? Like they really do still keep that element in there. It's just sidelined to the action, whereas the Spy Family, the action is sidelined to the family dynamics.
Also, one character we didn't talk about, who I think it was one of my favorites, is Boiled.
Which one's that?
Boiled was a dude who would always say like, "That's hard boiled."
No,
and he had like the goatee. He was like friends with Sakamoto back in the day, even though like Hiro was always like super chill and like didn't
never recognize.
Yeah, I never recognized
him. Any mind? Yeah.
Also, another thing we didn't talk about either is with Sakamoto. Not only fat, but whenever he burns X amount of calories, like this is kind of like his power up essentially. When he actually tries hard, he becomes
old
fit.
Sakamoto.
Yeah, he becomes fit, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
and then like as soon as after he wins the fight, the next day he's just eating nonstop and then puts the weight back on in a day.
Yeah, it's just so funny. I assume there should be at a point eventually where he doesn't. I think from what I've heard about Sakamoto Days, it doesn't actually stay with this kind of slice of life. He feels apparently it like evolves quite a bit and changes quite a bit in tonality, which I don't know. I'm curious. I'm okay with either. I really like how it was, but I'm okay to see where it goes.
I think I will start reading it. There's over 200 chapters. I do know that, and it's ongoing right now, so it's not finished. But I think I might tackle it.
For me, this is definitely one that I'm just going to kind of take time and ride the roller coaster, especially because I know with Netflix seems to be dropping it pretty fast.
Yeah. It's
summer season, right?
Yeah.
So it's like
that one is coming on summer.
Yeah, that's the one of the ones we said was going to come out now, but it's not. It's summer season.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, I'm not in any rush to read it. Maybe down the road I'll read it.
Why don't you just read Naruto?
Or that too.
Shots fired.
That too. So I guess like that pretty much covers it. Like nothing.
It's slice of life. There's not crazy story element.
Like obviously, the villains or assassins get a little tougher. So near the end of this season, he's definitely fighting some stronger individuals. Like when he fought Boiled, his old friend, that was the first like real tough fight he's had in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had to fight the dude with the moose head,
the cyborg guy.
Yeah. And after that, that's when he's like, all right, I think we need to start training.
Well, and
now that they might start training, maybe he is going to be more fit on a regular basis.
That's what I mean. Like, well, I think he was referring to them more. But I'm curious to see like when it gets to the level where they are going to be fighting the Order again, because the season ends with like not even assassins, just like psychopathic murderers.
Yeah, like the one dude that like pushes everything to a molecular level.
Yeah, so and the whole thing right now is like he's still fast for his size, but like instead of being hyper skilled, hyper trained, hyper athletic and stuff like he was in his prime, he kind of really banks on his ridiculous strength that he's gained with his extra weight. And obviously he's not like that guy's. He's not beating that guy's strength. Like if they do that, that's just cheaping us out of something cool.
Unless he is truly capable of something like that. Like if he actually like trained on a regular basis.
Yeah, I know, but like as is, I feel like that would be a call out.
Yeah, for sure. But it is anime, so you never know.
100%. But I really hope not. So Sakamoto Days, power level. What you giving it?
You go first.
I'm gonna give it like a 6,500.
Okay.
Like I like it. If I never watched it again, I'd be okay.
Yeah.
I will definitely keep up with it. Like it's definitely not what I'm going to avoid or I'm going to watch because I feel like I have to or should. I enjoy it. I'm just never going to prioritize it.
I think my issue is, at least from what I've seen, it gives off the vibe that it's going to be kind of samey throughout. Like it's just going to be fighting assassin after assassin. But
it's like the creature of the week stuff.
Yeah, but from what you told me of it potentially having a deeper plot down the road, that has my interest peaked a little more now too. Animations are great.
So many people who shit on the animation when it first came out. Well, I mean, like we have a generation of people that are like very spoiled, like high level animation, right? Like Solo Leveling, a perfect example of like again, it's just ridiculously high level animation.
Yeah. So yeah, I enjoy the animation. I enjoyed all the characters. I think they do spend some time on some of the side characters, which is good, which Solo Leveling didn't do. I think I'd give it a 7,000.
Okay.
And that's just based off first season and what the vibes I'm getting, where it's going to go moving forward. But if things do change and things are a little more, there's more at stake, then I can see that rating going higher down the road.
My rating's pretty optimistic.
Yeah.
Like I think it could definitely improve, especially depending on how it changes. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with mine as is.
It's funny too. Like,
okay, we're gonna do a little bit of a quick wrap up on Ping Pong. So again, we're gonna let you start with this one, Sahil, because we talked about it a little bit last time. So we're just talking about the last half of Ping Pong the animation and what your final thoughts are.
So yeah, Ping Pong I did thoroughly enjoy. I remember when we talked about it a couple weeks ago, I was saying how I didn't mind the animation style. Like, obviously it's bad, but it's intentionally bad. I know. But I will say I got a little sick of it. By like the last episode, I'm like, man, I'm tired of these animations. It was cool at first, but like give me some quality animations. Like they're putting effort in so much other shit in the show.
Oh, the soundtrack is fire. The story is
where then it's like real. That is
it sends
so
a message across so well.
What's the main character? Hoshino? Yeah. So like you would think first episode Hoshino's going to be the main character, and then it starts to show that Smile is actually better than Hoshino at first. So it's like
he gets completely sidelined.
So it's like, wait, is Smile the true main character? But then you realize it's really just about their relationship and them trying to like make each other better. Hence why Smile doesn't want to go to the higher level academy. You can tell his main reason is stick around Hoshino and see his like him blossom as a true ping pong.
It's such a wonderful coming of age story.
Yeah.
Including in its complexity of like, you know, the child prodigy who didn't care, all of a sudden he's old enough now that the people who just try hard have caught up with him or surpassed him even. And then you have the other guy who's just trying to be supportive and he's left, but he was really only just tagging along with other friends. So now he's got to try to find himself. And then all of a sudden it kind of like has to come to some culmination. Like they do a really, really good job of just talking about a few things. One, like the reality of sports and sportsmanship. And I think using something seemingly silly like ping pong with a sport that people don't really take seriously. Wow, most of the world doesn't take very seriously. As the catalyst for that is really cool because, you know, we're North America, so specifically Canada, let's say you have hockey. If you try to tell the same story about hockey, you don't get the same message across because so many people here do take it so seriously that you don't get the same like satirical hints of like, are they really like their whole life is ping pong? Really? You know what I mean? Like, well, there's nothing more. But then it does a good enough job about making you care for the characters that you start to care a lot more. So I just think it does a really good job of threading the needle in terms of coming of age story and sharing hardships and what that looks like, especially at a hyper competitive level with us, whether it be a sport or whatever else.
Yeah, agreed. And so in the end, like Hoshino ends up getting better, ends up becoming pretty much one of the best or maybe the best in the world when it comes to ping pong. The last episode, Smile and Hoshino go against each other at the end of a tournament. I was mad that they didn't show that match. They kind of skipped it. And then all of a sudden, Smile's teaching ping pong, and Hoshino's touring around the world, doing worldwide tournaments. One thing that also drove me insane was the hero bullshit.
Yeah.
They would not shut up about, I need a hero. Like, I'm looking for, like, that one bald dude, I forget his name. And, like, he was depressed because he was looking for somebody to be his hero.
Yeah.
Like, I understood he had a rough past.
Manabu.
Yeah. I understand he had a rough past, but I don't see how that linked to him still needing to find this hero of his.
Well, the robot flashback, I think, got a little bit too much too, where they just did it a few too many times.
Yeah.
And I can get pretty bad for that sometimes. I really like the way even though it was so short, that it did really focus on a lot of side characters. Like Kong had a very like flushed out development. Like at first you're like, oh, this is some douche, and then it's like, oh no, like basically if he doesn't do well, his life is gone. Like he just doesn't have one. Manabu is the same way. Like he's just annoyed. Do not touch me in my dirty downstairs, sensei.